going to get into the player ratings for Minnesota United 1, LAFC 1. If you want to check out my instant match reaction, go ahead and do that. I'm just going to really get into the player ratings for this one only. Vito Minone, goalkeeper of the year, obviously. But my only critique of Vito, he had some amazing saves. My only critique of Vito is sometimes after those saves, we just needlessly kick it up the field to no one or to the other opposing goalkeeper. That's something we need to be better at with our distribution from goalkeeper. I think there was times where we just kept booting it to him, and we were defending for 15, 20 minutes at a time. Last 20 minutes, we were defending for the last 20 minutes about. But no complaints. Just we need to think about not doing so many long balls. Just hitting that pass when we're under so much pressure against a team like LAFC because they were trying to break us down the whole second 45. They just simply couldn't, or they did, but they simply couldn't to the extent that they wanted to. So we're gonna get into Wilfred Mbembe Tarat, who I thought played very well on the left for Chase Gasper on the left as the left back. I thought he offered a lot in the first half, and then both ways, and then defensively in the second half he was pretty sound. Does let Carlos Vela cut in and shoot, and don't think he's to blame for the goal. I think part of the reason falls on him because he is marking that man and he does let him. But it's such a hard goal to defend, and it's a hard goal to save for Vito. He has to know he's going to be shooting in that top right corner. So not too much to complain, but like I said, Wilfred will probably get a 7 from me. Pretty solid performance, I thought, from him. And Vito, I forgot to mention, I'd say like a solid 8.5 for me, or an 8 tonight. The kicking needs to get worked on a bit. I'll drop a half for the kicking. Boxall with the goal. Man of the match for me, probably an 8.5. Actually, I'll give him a 9. Boxy, a 9. He had some really good clearances. Him and Ike are a really good center back pairing. I specifically remember Boxall clearing the ball to stopping Villa on a tapping. And also pops up with that goal on that set piece, and he could be scoring goals every game. Not every game, but he gets many chances in the box, and he can win some headers in the box over people. Him and Ike should definitely be getting on some of these set pieces, and I think we should maybe take some more of them because Gregus can put them on a platter. Just put them on a platter. So Ike, I'm going to give him an 8. I thought he played really well. Boxall gets the goal, so one point above him, but Ike played very well. Was a beast everywhere, sweeping up everything. And like I said in my instant match reaction, there was a time when he went down with an injury and due to the field, by the way. The field's awful. If you want to go field condition, the field condition is up for question. It's not doing so good, in my opinion. The field has been torn up in the last several games. So if you want to listen to me talk about that, go head over to my instant match reaction. But Ike played well, like I said. Solid 8 from him. Was cleaning everything up, and we had to defend the whole time. So he's there. The defenders are going to get the higher score for sure. Montier, I thought 8.5. I thought he was a machine out there, and I don't think he is putting up assists and stuff and being all flashy, but his defensive work is really good, and he hasn't gotten an assist on a ball across in a while, but he is always bombing up and down the pitch and has saved us a lot with his defending out there on the right, and he's been a great addition. Olam and Gregus were in the midfield. Oh, excuse me. Olam came in for Ozzy for resting. It was smart to rest Ozzy, I thought. With the Seattle game and the playoffs coming up, we're going to need Ozzy for the playoffs. I'd say even rest him against Seattle. There's no need to play him unless we really, really, really want that second spot. So I don't think it's as important as. I mean, it's important, but I don't think it's as important as not having a healthy and fit Ozzy Alonso. Um, so Olam, I thought played pretty well, and I think he's a really solid backup for that position. Sits right in front of the center backs and cleans up some stuff nicely, and is a big, tall presence in that midfield, and um, can win a ball here, there, and there, and he's played pretty well. I'm gonna give him a 7 tonight. Gregus, I thought 7.5. I thought in the first half he was pretty good, and he was helping that midfield win a lot of balls, and I thought he drifted a little bit in the second half, not being able to make some of these passes, not being able to make them, hitting some bad ones, and not winning the ball as much in the possession, as well as Hassani Dotson. In the second half, we weren't getting that second ball in the midfield a lot compared to LAFC. Asani, a 7 tonight for me. Um, Thought he played well in that midfield, but like I said, the second half, I thought the midfield drifted from winning those second balls, but we did end up becoming more compact in the second half. So I think that might have been why we were drifting back a bit more, and we weren't going at LAFC as much with more people. Um, Lod, Robin Lod. I thought he had one of his best games in a Loon shirt tonight. The first 45 years popping up a lot. He had a couple good opportunities, and he was doing a lot better today. I thought tackling and some nice passing, some really good play from Lod. I'm going to give him an 8 tonight, an 8 for sure, because I thought he was that first 45 um, until he kind of drifted in the second half, and I've really been kind of down on Lud. I haven't seen what he offered, but I'm going to be a little bit generous and give him an 8. I think maybe he's starting to kind of get the feel of things, so that's nice. We're going to get into Darwin Quintero, who I thought was very dangerous the first 60 minutes. The first 60 minutes, he was on his game, trying his hardest, um, doing some really good things, but then getting a little bit too fancy at times. You know how Darwin plays, but he looked like he really wanted it, really was going to give it his all and go. He wasn't standing around too much from Darwin standards. But man, I have to give him a 7 tonight. There was a couple squandered chances, but he really gave it a go. You could tell he's really all in for the playoffs. I think. I don't think I see a lot of pouting and stuff from him. I think he's all in. I think he really is. So Mason Toy really did not have a great game. I'm gonna have to give him a 5. A little bit harsh, but he did not offer very much. Had 2 needless fouls and picked up a yellow. Didn't offer much forward, and really couldn't hold the ball up, and you couldn't get behind. He was getting bodied out there. He was not playing that great, unfortunately. That center back pairing dealt with him really well. But Angelo Rodriguez came on. I'm gonna have to give him a 6. He doesn't score his goals, but he created some, and he had a first 40 or 15, maybe 20 minutes of really, really creating and goal scoring, or getting in those creative spots to be a goal scorer, but he just did not capitalize on the shots. I thought he should have maybe taken one of the goals with his weak foot, and he shot it to the right when he had the left side open. I don't know if he's comfortable with shooting with his left foot, but at that time he just kind of had to do it. But definitely should have picked up a goal from Angelo. And I think it maybe even being nice giving him a 6, but he really needed to score there, and there is a reason. That is the simple reason why we are looking for a goal scorer like Angelo, who can hold the ball up as well or as him, because that's what he did really well today. and he got in those positions, but he can't put it in the back of the net. He's in a drought, and he might not ever get out of it. Um, and it just hasn't worked out. So I feel like we'll definitely be parting ways with him in the off season. Um, I hope he can turn around for the playoffs, because that's the only way I could see him staying for another year is if he goes on some crazy goal scoring record in the playoffs. So Ethan Finley came on for Lud, and he worked hard, made a couple runs over the center backs of the LAFC, but um, came on in the 70th minute. But and then after that, we were really defending for most of the game until um, yeah, we were defending most of the game when Ethan was on, until that's literally that set piece was about the only thing that we did in that last 25, 30 minutes in their half. Really, we were defending for our lives the last 20 or so. So that is going to be my player ratings, with Ethan Finley getting a 7. I'm going to give him a 7. Worked really hard, or yeah, 6.5. 6.5. Worked really hard, but didn't get involved in the game much and didn't really change it. But put in a shift. So that's going to be my player ratings for Minnesota United 1, LAFC 1. And home playoff game, here we come. As always, come on, you Loons.